Aha, here we are.
We're back.
Back in the saddle again.
In a big way.
Right.
You ready?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
I like this topic.
Turning passion into profit. What do you think of that? What comes to mind?
Well, I actually started a couple businesses based on, if not passion, then necessity that's turned into profit. And I think this is really good learning for anybody out there who's working a grind 9-to-5 job and doesn't really get a lot of satisfaction out of their job, and they have a passion or an interest that they want to turn into profit. It's relatively easy to do. Let me give you my own story. So I have two businesses. Both came out of a need of necessity. One is a company that deals with it's a property management company. We deal with high net worth clients. And the idea to start the company came out of my own need to have somebody care for my property when I was away from it for long stretches of time. So mine is a property management / home watch service called Key Concierge. And this company was started as the first home watch company in Sarasota.
Wow.
I can literally say I'm the one that put home watch on. Now, there were firemen doing it for $15, whatever. So there were one-offs, but this was the first company that was doing it in 2004. And it came out of my own need for such a service, and nobody was doing it in town. And I had taken a package from the Fortune 500 company I work for and came down here to my vacation home and saw that this was a real need in the community. So that's how the business was started. So there's this great expression, necessity is the mother of invention. And that's what happened with that company.
Now, let me ask you a question, because I, too, am going to talk about my passion, which has turned into profit. If this microphone will behave itself, I don't know. I think it's okay there.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think it was easier to turn your passion into profit because you had a financial cushion coming from the Fortune 500 company? Let's talk about when you didn't have the cushion. Do you think it's possible for us to turn our passion into profit?
Okay. Well, I wouldn't even say necessarily that it was the financial cushion, although of course that helped. What really helped was spending time in a company, a corporation, so that you could learn the ropes, if you will, about how to run a company or how a company runs.
Yeah.
So whenever anybody wants to do this, I would encourage them to work that grind, that 9-to-5 job in a company, and particularly if it's a company near and close to your passion, better yet. So let's say you want to turn your photography into a passion, and you could work at a store that sells cameras or develops film or making stuff up.
Absolutely.
But stay within that so you can see how companies operate, how to make sales, how to hire people, how to manage people. All of those things are critical in order for you to have a successful company. So that part was really important for sure.
What about your second?
So the second is a culinary touring company called Key Culinary Tours that I started about 10 years ago here in Sarasota. Again, nobody was doing it. Now I have
That's awesome.
I know, it's great. But now I have competitors in both spaces, a lot of competitors in both spaces, but nobody was doing it back then. So I love this. What's that expression? Imitation is the best form of flattery. Whatever that is. Yeah. So good. That's good. And so this was, again, a need for, I had gone on a food tour in Miami. I loved every minute of it. I came away feeling like I knew a lot about the neighborhood that we toured, and I ate some good foods along the way. And I thought, well, Sarasota neighborhoods could really use this. And so we do tours in Sarasota, both downtown and St. Armand Circle. We do Anna Maria Island and Venice. So we
That's
do
a big range.
Walking tours.
That's a big range.
But again, it was out of a necessity that I saw that nobody was doing. And I thought, well, let's do it. So you can start with either passion that you like photography to continue to use on that example, or you can look in your community and your marketplace and say, you know what's missing? This is missing. And if that's missing, then figure out a way to provide it.
I think that's genius, and I think that's so motivating. But as you said, you did the grind.
Yeah.
You learned the cogs and the wheels. You learned how the system works.
Right.
Because without that, you can't run companies for yourself.
No, I agree. There's just too many pitfalls. So you really should put the time in. Well, you could do it by reading books, of course, too. Right. But if you actually put the time in a company and see how it works, that's a little bit more helpful than trying to do it from scratch.
My story is a little different because I did not know when I started dentistry that it was my passion. It's something I grew up with. My father did it. why not try this? And I thought it could be a great career. No idea of passion. And then with dentistry, you're thrown into school and expected to learn 7 million foreign things.
Right.
Then you graduate from that and you're thrown into the real world and you either work with a group or another dentist or something like that.
Right.
But you're still learning all the procedures. So you're still learning dentistry in the real
Right.
world. You're learning the financial, business, office stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
Not really learning it, but just trying to see what you can see.
Mm.
And then you decide to go out on your own, and there you are.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, though. Do they teach you in dental school, like how to run a business, how to run an
Nothing.
office? They don't teach you
Zip.
any of that. Okay.
Nada.
Oh,
Nothing.
yeah. Right.
So literally,
Yeah.
you're out there and you've got your craft
Yeah.
and you're kind of piecing it together with all this stuff. But I am telling you, I couldn't dream of doing anything other than what I do.
Yeah.
I love it. I adore it.
Right.
And it's just a flow for me.
Right.
Dentistry right now is a flow.
Right.
And I love all of my patients. I love my staff. I am so lucky
Right.
and blessed that it's turned into my passion.
We had a guest on this podcast some time ago who wrote a book, Don't Retire, Rewire. And so when you retire, which I know is many, many years away, at least I hope, because you're like my favorite dentist. I don't know what I'll do if you retire. But that's when you could also pick another passion. So you like to hike, for example. I don't know, maybe you could do
Absolutely.
tours of the Sierra Nevadas or something. But that's where you start to think about, what can I do? How can I parlay some of these things that I love to do and make money at the same
And
time?
make money at the same
Yeah,
time.
that'd be great.
The other thing that I want to let our listeners know is, with a passion, I'm personally, I don't think about money. I don't think about any money ever
Yeah.
with it. And it just happens.
Right. There's also an expression. It's something like, find something that you love and you'll never work another day in your life. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Because you're just having fun all the time doing something that you love.
That's
yeah.
it.
And the
Yeah.
money will find it. The money will find its way to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it just sort of flows. And I don't
Right.
think there has to be a lot of energy put into how to make money. The profit is secondary to the passion
Right.
for
yeah.
me.
Yeah. So do you know other people that have done that? Like, well, we had that woman who does the chocolate on, and that was definitely a passion project for her. She just loved the chemistry of it all and
Yeah.
putting it all together. And now she's doing really well. At least I give those chocolates out all the time
Yeah.
as gifts to friends. They're great.
Oh, yeah. No, that was an amazing
Yeah.
story of turning a passion into a business, into profit.
Yeah.
But, I think about a lot of people, and I'm not sure why, they get on the 9 to 5 grind
Mm.
and they never get off.
Well, I know
And they
why.
put in their 30 years
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Well, I can tell you why, I think, because the idea of jumping off a steady paycheck on Fridays,
Yeah.
in order to take the risk, there's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah.
The risk that's involved in starting your own company is huge. And if you got a wife and 3 kids and a car payment and a mortgage, that's hard to do.
You've
So,
really got to want it to have your own business. You've really got to want it. You've got to, for me, you just got to hit the wall
yeah,
and know I'm never going to go back. I'm never going back. I'm doing this differently. Here we go.
yeah.
And you
But you
figure it
also,
out.
well, you have to figure it out, right? That which also means lots of changes, perhaps lots of changes around you. So downsize your house and, I don't know, sell the car. I'm making stuff
Yeah,
up. But
we'll stop eating out, stop
Yeah.
the Starbucks, stop the dry cleaning,
Yeah.
stop the things.
and not everybody can or wants to do that. You know what I mean?
And your Fridays, you're not off on Friday. You're
No.
not off on Saturday. You're
Yeah.
not off on
It's
Sunday.
a 24/7.
It's a 24/7.
Yeah.
And it's the entrepreneurial determination
Right.
that you want it, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
But now that we're in the flow of our passion, would you ever go back?
Never would I go
No.
back. No.
No.
In fact, I let me just say, I'm very, very, very grateful for all those years that I did work for corporations, because I got a lot of, free education, if you will.
Yeah.
I was given a lot of opportunity. I got to travel a lot. I got to see a lot. So I'm very grateful for those years. But if I had to do it over, I'd still do that. But I would stop a lot sooner than I did and start my business a lot sooner than I did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I deep down, I would like to experience the corporate 9 to 5. I've never had that.
Yeah.
I've always been more of an independent
Yeah.
person. But I would like to do that corporate thing.
Yeah. It was a pretty cool way to sort of come up, in the early stages of my career. It
The
was
only
really-
advantage that I have over the way you came up was I could never be fired.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because I was the boss.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But-
And being the boss of your own life is a lot to be said about that, really.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I think for this podcast, Susan, it's super important that we let our listeners know, A, we believe in the entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
B, you can turn a passion into whatever you want.
Right.
C, it's worth everything.
Yeah, it really is. But I'd add D, E, and F, which is do your homework, save up some money so you've got a little bit of a cushion, find communities where they're already doing that kind of a thing and learn from them, whether it's
Yes.
online communities or communities, conventions or whatever you can go to. There's a lot of learning. So don't just throw spaghetti against the wall and see if it sticks. I mean, do a little bit of your homework and get some of those T's crossed, the I's dotted before you actually do it. Because
Of
it's not
course.
easy. It
Yeah.
isn't.
I remember when I went to get my first bank loan, I didn't know what the word amortization meant.
Oh, yeah. So see?
I had
Yeah.
to come home and Google everything
Right.
and figure it out.
Yeah.
So you've got to do a lot of research, a lot
Yeah.
of work behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
And the other thing I would recommend too is find a mentor, particularly if it's somebody in your field,
Great
your field
idea.
of passion. That's great. But even if it isn't, somebody who's been around the block a few times and understands the cycle of business. And SCORE is a place where you could go. I think most communities have something like that where you can go. I forget what the acronym stands for, but anyway, small business something. Small Business Association also has places where they can give seminars and online webinars and that kind of thing.
And for me, all the associations, all the clubs, all the groups, network,
Yeah.
get to know who's out there. And I was lucky. I had great mentors.
Yeah, so
The
that's
entire
really
way.
important to
Yeah.
do too. Yeah,
So there's a lot to it,
Yeah.
but it is possible.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
I would say it's absolutely possible, and if you have any inkling, just do it. I have this expression, jump and the net will find you. I just think you have to just do it. If you've done the homework and you put a little savings aside, I mean, the things that I mentioned a minute ago are important too. But then when ready, just jump.
Jump.
The net will find you.
All right. So, and that's a wrap. And I
Okay.
want everyone to jump. 1, 2, 3, jump.
Oh, that's funny.
We thank you for listening and hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please share this show with friends and family and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This way, you'll never miss weekly drops. Stay strong, dream big, and floss your teeth.